Hi, I'm Bunny Cakes and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a review on Stephen King's The Shining, which I read on an ebook, as an ebook rather. Um, I this was actually a reread. I read this quite some time ago, so long ago that if it weren't for the movies, I wouldn't really remember the base story at all. Um, but everybody knows, I think, at this point, the basic story. It's about the Overlook Hotel and Jack Torrance, his wife, and his son become the caretakers of the hotel, and they go live there, and they are snowed in for several months during the off season of the hotel. Um, Compared to the movies, there's definitely a lot more detail, but it's a book, and there's room for that. Um, I did forget that the physical descriptions of the characters in the book don't quite match the physical descriptions of the actors who played the characters. For instance, Shelley Duvall was supposed to be a blonde, and so was Jack Nicholson, and so was Danny, and none of them were. Shelley Duvall has really dark to black hair. Jack Nicholson has dark brown hair, and the kid who played Danny Torrance also had brown hair. Um, but still, they also the carpet was a different pattern, which I thought was an odd detail to change. But maybe it was because they couldn't get a carpet that color. Um, it was definitely really thrilling. I wish that the Jack Nicholson movie or the remake that they made later would have gone into more detail about what happened. Um, and like like I believe in the movie it was an axe he used, but in the book it's a um mallet that is similar to a croquet mallet, but it's a different game called rope. Um, and that was really cool. Um, what they did with the hedge animals moving was really awesome. They also spent time down in the town before winter snowed them in, which would have been interesting to see in the movie. I definitely recommend this. I gave it 5 stars, and it's not just me being a gracious and um, easy grader on this. I really love it. You can definitely tell a difference in Stephen King's writing style. In this book, um, he seems a lot more like Dean Koontz, where he uses big words. There were a couple of times where there were words that I didn't necessarily know what they meant outside of context clues, so I had to go look them up. And I kind of love that. I don't like when authors oversimplify things. If you can use a big beautiful word, then use a big beautiful word. And that's I also appreciate when they don't use big words for the sake of using big words. But language is beautiful, and if you can say um, that you're ravenous instead of really, really hungry, why wouldn't you? There's so many words. And that's one of the reasons we like reading, isn't it? Because we like words and language, and um, I want to use as many of the words as I can. uh, but yes, definitely recommend this. It wasn't as scary as I remember it, but that could just be because I've gotten older, and I'm also a little immune to being scared now because not much really does. I can't even remember the last time a good scary movie scared me. Normally, when I get scared, it's a jump scare from like Mace, like or my cat because she's pretty good at jump scaring me, um, or something like that. As much as I love horror, I don't run into horror that scares me. I think the last horror movie that scared me was Jeepers Creepers, and that was more because I accidentally set myself up into a situation that made it scary more than the movie was actually scary. Um, so yeah, but um, since they are remaking so many Stephen King movies and making more of his books into movies, it might be a good idea to pick this book up and read it before they remake it again with new actors. I don't know who they would get that would do better than Jack Nicholson, because he's my favorite Jack Torrance. Not that the other guy didn't do well. It's just he's not Jack Nicholson, and you know that little kid in the first Shining was way creepier than the second kid. Although that little kid did pretty good too, and Shelley Duvall did an amazing job. Though I think that had a lot to do with the director of the original Shining making everybody literally crazy. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend this book, especially if you like Stephen King or horror and you haven't picked this one up. Um, Generally, when people come to me looking for horror, I always suggest older Stephen King novels, because his newer novels, they can come off a little more simplistic. Um, and I'm not sure if that's a change in him as a writer because that's who he is, or if he is writing toward a more simple audience because he realized that that's the demographic that was actually picking up his books. Um, but I find that if people are going to love Stephen King, it's generally going to be because they started out reading those classics like Carrie and Cujo and The Stand and The Shining, that are written, I don't know, they feel more deep to me. That's not to say I don't like newer Stephen King novels. I do. Um, if you've seen my channel, you will notice that I read a lot of Stephen King, both old and new. But that being said, once again, I highly recommend The Shining, especially if you either think you don't like Stephen King and you've only read his newer stuff, or if you are looking for good horror reads. Definitely read you some classic Stephen King. So that's all I have. Please remember to like and subscribe and to hit the notification bell. Check out these videos over here. No matter what these videos are over here, I do book reviews and I also do discussions as well as TBRs and book hauls. I'm sure there's something in my content that you'll like. As for my discussion videos, no matter how old they are, if you want to respond to those in any way, either in the comments or via another video, if you make a video, post a link in the comments to one of the discussion videos that you're responding to. I posted those videos because I want to talk to people about it, not just now, but even in the terribly distant future, if that's when you come to my channel. Also, if you think you know somebody who will like my content as well, shout me out to them or share my videos. I'll appreciate it, and I'm sure if you think they'll like it, they'll appreciate it too. So thank you for watching, and keep reading.